Come on, let's toast to champagne. This one's for the life. Did everything it could to be here for the night.
Greetings everyone! Welcome back to Age of Empires Definitive Edition with me, Kemsit, continuing the Ascent of Egypt campaign. Now let's get going.
The future of Egypt is about to change. The great pharaoh Narmer seeks to unite the upper and lower kingdoms into a unified Egypt. Using the wealth brought from farming along the Nile's banks, he will finally be able to defeat his rivals. Take control of the villages along the river and build a surplus of 800 food to feed your people and Narmer's warriors. In addition, take control of the ancient stone circle of Nabta Playa, found in the desert to the west. Controlling this ancient ruin will demonstrate Narmer's power to his opponents. Be wary of nearby peoples, however. You need not destroy them, but know that they will attempt to undermine Narmer's goal of uniting Egypt.
Of course. So our objective is control the ruins and stockpile 800 food. What we'll do is, hints are, you need to defend against probable attack by hostile Egyptians by upgrading your club to X-Men and training additional X-Men at the barracks. Food from foraging is limited, so you must build farms to further increase your stockpile of food. When you have enough wood in your stockpile, you might consider constructing an archery range or stable and training archers or cavalry units to strengthen your ranks of X-Men. To control the ruin, you must cross the river and go into the desert. You may have to battle all the Egyptians if they stand in your way. After you have neutralized or destroyed Upper Egypt and secured control of the ruin, you can concentrate on building more farms to accumulate the food needed to win. Every year, every monsoon rains in the mountains of Ethiopia would cause the Nile to flood its banks downstreams in Egypt. This period of flood from June to September was called Akhet. While waiting for the waters to recede and reveal the fertile mud, fresh silt left behind, Egyptian farmers spent their time mending and making tools and looking after their animals. As Egypt became a kingdom, the farmers would use some of this time to work on the king, called the pharaoh, to build tombs and temples. When the waters receded, the Egyptians would plow the soil during a season called Peret. From October to February, Egyptians plowed by hand or used hand-pulled plows. Seeds were sown and goats and other animals walked over the fields to push these seeds into the ground and provide additional fertilizers. The Egyptians grew a variety of crops including wheat, barley, flax, onions, leeks, garlics, beans, lettuce, lentils, cabbage, radishes, turnips, grapes, figs, plums and melons. Harvest time was a period called Shamu. From March to May, grains was cut with silks, tied into bundles and carried away to granaries. Skilled artisans in the town turned wheat into bread, barley into blay, and flax into linen cloth. Pepperies were gathered to make sandals, boats, baskets, mats, and papers. Agriculture allowed professions to develop and fostered new cultures, tools, and artifacts. Although the first signs of agriculture dated from 8000 BCE, the first farming communities did not appear in Egypt until a period from circa 6000 to 3150 BC. These early settlements introduced new technologies such as irrigation in the form of canals and basins. This allowed the Egyptians to regulate the flows to maximize food production. The Egyptian agricultural system also allowed the region to support between 2 to 12 million people. Even as late as the Roman Empire, the Egyptians were still considered the granary of ancient world. The population boom boom brought about the agriculture-caused villages to Colossus into small kingdoms along the Nile. These kingdoms invaded and annexed other until only two kingdoms remain, those Upper and Lower Egypt. In South and North, respectively, this terminology derives from the flood of the Niles, river from the highlands of eastern Africa in the south of the Nile crown, called Hajjat, like the king of Lower Egypt, who wore a red crown called Deshret around 3100 BC. A king named Narmer, also identified as Menes, unified the two kingdoms. A siltstone tablet called a palette or Narmer's depicts the king wearing the crown of Upper Egypt on one side and the crown of Lower Egypt on the other. A later pharaoh named Jet would be depicted wearing both crowns together at once. The double crown known as Pisket, which symbolized the unity of Egypt. Sorry for reading it, but it was quite long, and you could either skip this if you want, but you know, I should have warned you guys before. But anyway, let's get going. Okay, so what will I have to do? Where have warriors?
Zokanta. Somus.
Erectus. Somus. Erectus.
I mean,
Zokanta.
yeah,
Somus.
let's just go. I'll make my troops.
One.
In the meanwhile, I'll just also start a bit scouting around.
Erectus.
And let's see if I can find anything useful.
Ebotade.
I hope I don't encounter the enemy right now.
Erectus. Somus. Ebotade.
Oh yeah, right. I'm still. Oh yeah.
Erectus.
I'll just hold
Ebotade.
them here, 'cause I
Ebotade.
think the enemy will come from that. Either way,
Okay.
let's continue farming. Gathering resources.
Somus.
Wood is also an important resource. I think I'll still make a dock. Yeah, actually, let's do that right now. Food is really needed.
Umbis.
Let's go.
Ebotade.
I'll keep one warrior there, and then soon when I'm done,
One.
send one here. There's another way there. So
Ebotade.
it's gonna be problematic,
Erectus.
but let's hurry up.
Somus. Erectus.
Alamas. Somus.
There shouldn't be.
Ebotade. Somus.
Could even cross the Nile, but I'm
Erectus.
afraid of the enemy.
Erectus. Ebotade.
Good job. More food required. Can we make some farms already? No. Oh well. There we go. It's
Somus.
done.
Alama. Somus.
Ebotade. Ebotade.
I wonder if there's any other food sources.
Ebotade. Somus.
Let's just keep gathering those.
Ebotade. Ebotade.
That way.
One.
Send you there. Shit. Oh,
Ebotade. Somus.
go away.
Erectus. Ebotade.
I can make slingers as well, but it's not worth at the moment. No.
Alamas.
No.
Alamas.
Actually, yeah, let's
Somus.
just go that way. Gather it. Whoop, whoop.
Ebotade. Ebotade.
The important thing is also to sustain a good economy, obviously, but yeah, at times like this, it's
Somus.
quite hard to do.
Alamas. Somus.
There's not much stuff to do around. I mean, to gather even around.
Evil
It seems there's more open paths. So I'll just place more troops, which I'm gonna start creating soon. But I also need to make a good place to gather wood.
Alamas. Selmas. Alamas. Selmas. 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 Selmas.
Let's make some more troops. I can also upgrade it soon, but let's focus on this.
Selmas. Darai. Selmas. Selmas.
Come on, boys. The storage pit is needed.
Somas. One.
I already have a field military already, so in case they will come over, I'll just smack them. The next unit will be here. Alright, there we go. Let's...
Umbis. 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 Selmas.
Yes.
Selmas. 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 Alamas. Selmas. Selmas.
I mean, they should be fine. Oh yeah, let's...
Alamas.
Quick housing.
Umbis. Umbis. Umbis.
I really need a... let's see the technology tree. It should say where... Farm. Huh. I need to create a market to unlock it. I don't know that. If it was just market, you know, granary and then all that. But seems not. Let's just save up and then soon we'll start creating a market too. Or we could just increase this and just let these guys gather quick more wood. We'll list. Come on, there we go. It's very great. Okay,
Alamas.
let's just get them more wood.
Selmas.
There's no other food sources around. I'll just try to attack them and see how we'll go, but I guess I'll just save. Yeah. Nearly enough.
Rogan. Alamas.
Now we can create a market. That's going good, good, good. We have another few troops over here, just in case. You'll go there. Just to see if something comes up. Fishing ships, just in case.
Selmas. 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 Selmas.
Come on. Chop off this. I can also just create a scouting vessel, which doesn't cost any gold, but let's wait for now. There,
Alamas.
I now can create some farms.
Alamas. Alamas.
And I desperately need
Alamas.
because food sources are still low. How should I do it? There.
Umbis.
The next one I'll just place here all around and then we'll see how it goes.
Alamas. Selmas.
There.
Alamas. Selmas.
More villages are needed. Alright, that's also great. Just
Alamas. Umbis.
farmer here. Yes.
Alamas.
Again. Oh well.
Umbis.
This way, just do not block it
Umbis. Alamas. Umbis.
This is good. Two farmers. Two more fishing ships. There we go.
Hello, eh? Umbis.
Another farm.
Alamas. Somas.
Okay, let's just take you guys. There's some fish over here as well.
Alamas. Umbis.
More farms.
Somas.
Resources.
Somas. Alamas. Alamas. Somas. Alamas.
Let's see. Storage pit.
Alamas. Umbis.
So they can gather the wood over here and then place in the storage pit there and then, split up and all that. Okay, I shall also steal someone soon. Just
Rogan?
more houses.
Alamas. Umbis.
For a second,
Umbis. Umbis.
just work.
Somas.
Yes, there we go. I think I can. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't feel safe, yeah, let's just upgrade our warriors. Should have enough suits. Just go here.
Rogan? Umbis.
Yes. Magnificent.
Alamas. Umbis.
Create a few more houses.
Umbis.
We can just continue on. There.
Alamas.
Oh,
Umbis.
sorry.
Alamas.
Make a archery range over here and then. Okay, we have now axemen. I think I want to increase this and this, and then we'll just go ahead and attack. Let's just research some proper armoring just in case, and then we'll just send all these units over and see what will happen. But not before I start reproducing these troops, just in case. There. At least we're getting enough wood as well.
Alamas. 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 Umbis.
More food, please.
Alamas. Umbis.
A few more farmers will be great. Let's do it here and there.
Umbis.
Okay, great.
Alamas. Umbis.
Okay. Okay, also, yeah, just create arches from each side as well. 40 each side. One there. We'll send one more there as well.
Alamas.
Nothing for some time. I
Hombre.
have not seen it, sorry. Oh yeah, right. I forgot there was an idle button over there. I didn't do it. I was dumb. Oh well. Let's continue. Make more villages, more troops. We got one more archer mode. Let's create another archer here.
Rogan? Alamas. Umbis. Alamas. Umbis.
Alright, that should do the job. Let's start creating just regular troops, I mean reserves, just in case. Yeah, there's 4 ship over here.
Umbis. Summers. Umbis.
Okay, let's just start attacking.
Ibortade. Ibortade. Somos.
Oh damn,
Okay.
that's not good, but oh well. Charge!
Somos. Erect Somos. Ibortade.
They have a big military. Oh well. Alright, kill them!
Oklema.
Somos. Ibortade. 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 Bleribus. One. Bleribus. Somone. I take. Ibortade. One. Thomas. I take. Erectus.
Umbis.
Okay, I need more housing. it
Alright.
seems.
Umbis.
There we
Umbis.
go. I'll just send those guys to
Right, I take. Somos. Ibortade.
Umbis.
One.
Rogan. Umbis. Umbis. Hilare. Umbis. Hilare. Umbis.
I can. Erectus, some I can. Erectus, evil owner. Evil God, erectus. I can. One. Correct. I can. I can own it.
Alamas. Bombis. Bombis.
Some I own it. Evil God.
Alamas. Bombis.
Okay, now that should be good. Still lacking some things to create.
Bombis.
I really need more housing.
I can. Evil.
Fishing ships for now. Okay, this should do good now.
Alamas.
And since my maximum population is 50, so what we'll do is just
Broken. Hilare. Alamas. Bombis.
reseed.
Thomas.
Go away, you.
Bombis.
There. Okay. Let's just create a few more military buildings.
Bombis.
Correct. I can. Thomas. Corrected.
And see how this goes.
I can.
Alamas.
I can.
Thomas.
I can. Evil.
And they have resigned. We can just move on and just capture the monuments because they have resigned and lost it, like you can see from here. I got some cavalry ready as well in case I have to destroy them, but I don't think I do or need to. Let's see, yeah, there we go. We found it and we won.
The gods have blessed our great pharaoh Narmer and united our people. Egypt is destined to become the greatest civilization ever seen. The pharaoh has promised you a spot on the carved stone tablet commissioned to honor his victory. For obvious reasons, your image will not be as big as his.
Yes, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, give it a like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new and wish to support it. If you wish to play a game together and you want me to record it that is possible, just add me on Steam or write it down in the comments box below and we can have a chit chat about it. Yeah, sorry for taking a bit longer than participated or, you know, I thought it would be. But yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.